The Mizuno Neo Vista is not like the New Balance SC Trainer V1. While there are similarities which I cover in this video, I believe the Neo Vista to be more like a different shoe.
All right, so for those of you who are new to this channel, you may not know, but the New Balance SC Trainer V1 was my favorite shoe of 2022. I feel like I know that shoe intimately in the biblical sense, and I would say that the Mizuno Neo Vista is more not like the SC Trainer V1 than it is like the SC Trainer V1, and I want to talk about that as I'm bouncing along this track in San Antonio on a humid day. Now, there are many differences between the Neo Vista and the SC Trainer V1, as well as similarities, and I'll cover the similarities really quick because I understand where the comparisons are coming from the SC Trainer V1 and the Neo Vista. And like the upper, for example, knit upper, stretchy, the foam, dense, bouncy, fun, and the stack height, so over 40 millimeters in both shoes. So you would think, oh, okay, this reminds me of the SC Trainer V1. And I get that. However, there are differences. There are many differences, and these differences are noteworthy. I would say they make it less like the SC Trainer V1 than more like it. And starting with the stack height. Okay, while the foam is very similar in the bounce back, the SC Trainer V1 was 47 millimeters of stack height. It was a monster. It was a monster. He lays down a monster. It was 47 millimeters. That's a lot. Now, if at any point in this video I say SC Trainer, I don't even know where that originated from. I've been talking about the SC Trainer V1 since it came out. My first video of it was an incredibly clickbaity bullshit title, I think. Go check it out. It's a great time, and I loved it. I put over 400 miles in that shoe. Then I was very much looking forward to the second version when it came out, which I bought at full price, and I made another video highlighting the differences between V2 and V1 of the SC Trainer. One of those differences actually was the phantom drop, and the phantom drop is from the heel. It's like there's 47 millimeters of stack in the SC Trainer V1, and I put over 400 miles in that shoe. So when I put on V2, I was expecting the heel to catch, and when the heel didn't catch, it almost like landed midfoot and tipped me forward because there was no heel. And the Mizuno Neo Vista, the geometry of that shoe, the shoe that I'm wearing right now, is like the V2 and not the V1. The shape of the shoe is more like the SC Trainer V2 than the SC Trainer V1. So let me reiterate that. I think that the Mizuno Neo Vista, the ride experience, feels more like the SC Trainer V2 and where you land on your foot than the SC Trainer V1 by a lot. Okay, so I just finished my run, and I'm gonna drop this in the middle of the video, and then I'm gonna keep running around the track and tell you all of my final thoughts on it. But for the paces, I just finished my run with a bunch of paces and pickups, and I will say the best paces for this shoe for me are gonna be anytime I have a full stride where the foam compresses and bounces back and returns all of the way. And for me, that's like marathon pace. I tend to pick up my cadence with tempo paces, and then I settle into like a 5K pace where it's still more power into that full bounce, and then like mile pace, I pick up my cadence again. So for like 5K paces and for like marathon pace, and I'm hitting and getting the full bounce back in return, that's where it's best. Not as much on the shuffle. So even at easy paces, it's better at steezy paces for me, not really gonna get it shuffling. Now, when I got the SC Trainer V2, I made a video highlighting the differences. Like I just mentioned, 5 major differences between the V2 and the V1. I made another video on the SC Trainer V2 in which, admittedly, I had a lot of time on my hands and I was trying way too hard. There's a lot of Canva effects, but basically I'm saying that I was wrong about the SC Trainer V2. And what I was wrong about, my first impressions was that the bounce in V2 was just as fun as the bounce in V1 because they're both bouncy. But upon further review, after many miles, I realized this new fuel cell formulation that they used from V1 to V2 was a little bit softer. And maybe it was softer because they were trying to lose some weight. V1 was very heavy, but as a consequence of becoming softer, the shoe was more unstable underfoot, and I started to get little aches in me bones, my shins, my knee. Cheeky little shoe, that one. I still enjoy it. I still put a couple hundred miles in it, but it was not V1. And what's amazing to me is I saw SJD, Seth James D'Amore, did a review of the V2 and he nailed it. Man, he's so good with his shoe reviews. I'll put it below, but you know, the density of the V1 was pretty special. The bounce back, the rebound. Now the shoe was heavy, so I wasn't like doing mile repeats in it, but that foam was not the same in V2. And the Mizuno Neo Vista, the foam is not SC Trainer V1 rebound. Now, does that even matter? I don't think so, not right now anyway. After a couple of runs in the Neo Vista, it's like maybe the density is somewhere between the V1 and the V2, but also the shoe structure underneath the platform. There's more on the lateral heel, and on the other side of the shoe, it's thicker than the SC Trainer V2. So I feel like there's more support. So I don't feel like I'm gonna get the same little aches and pains that I got from running in the New Balance SC Trainer V2. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got this shoe. So the Mizuno Neo Vista is not like the SC Trainer V1. It is what could have been the New Balance SC Trainer V2, and in fact there are more similarities to the V2 than the V1, but it's an improvement. So the Mizuno Neo Vista is like a more fully realized New Balance SC Trainer V2 based off of my first impressions. We still have to take it to some speed because the SC Trainer V2 was a sneaky little speed day shoe in my opinion.
We came along from last place, bottom to top of the fast pace. Out of this surf, I get touchdown. I take a loss, get it back 8. I'm in the gym putting numbers up. You're never there, you got bad traits. Never